They say when legends meet, the sky trembles. When the roar of American engineering collides with the fury of Russian design, the air itself becomes a battlefield. This is not just a dogfight, it's a clash of power, precision, and pride. The story of the F-16 Fighting Falcon versus the MiG-29 Fulcrum is more than just a rivalry, it's the pulse of aerial warfare, the sound of freedom and dominance colliding in the open blue. Welcome to Wings of War, the place where history takes flight, where machines become legends, and where we uncover the battles that shock the skies. It begins with a whisper of tension, two superpowers, locked in a silent struggle that stretched beyond borders. The Cold War may not have erupted into open conflict, but its weapons spoke volumes. On one side, the United States presented its masterpiece, the General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon, agile, versatile, and deadly. On the other side, the Soviet Union unleashed the Mikoyan MiG-29 Fulcrum, fast, aggressive, and fiercely loyal to the doctrine of aerial dominance. Both jets were born from opposite worlds but destined to meet in the same sky. The F-16 was America's answer to a changing era. Lightweight, single-engine, built around a pilot who became one with the machine. Its bubble canopy offered 360-degree visibility, its fly-by-wire system made it respond to human reflexes almost telepathically, and its precision targeting could strike with surgical accuracy. It was the jet that redefined air combat, small enough to evade, smart enough to dominate, and lethal enough to destroy. The MiG-29, on the other hand, was Soviet might made airborne. Twin engines, rugged structure, and thrust vectoring that could outmaneuver nearly anything in the sky. It was built not for luxury, but for survival. The Fulcrum didn't rely on fancy technology, it relied on raw power. Its radar was strong, its heat-seeking missiles were deadly, and its pilots trained for close-range, high-G combat, the kind where instincts, not systems, decide who lives. Now imagine this, two jets, from two worlds, facing each other in the endless blue. The year is 1999, during the Kosovo conflict. NATO forces are enforcing a no-fly zone, and U.S. Air Force F-16s patrol the sky like silent hawks. Below, the tension is razor-sharp. Suddenly, radar screens light up, a pair of MiG-29s from the Yugoslav Air Force are airborne. The hunters have become the hunted. At 20,000 feet, the first contact happens. The F-16s, using their superior radar, lock on from miles away. The MiG pilots, skilled and fearless, push their throttles to full afterburner, climbing to intercept. The sky above Kosovo becomes an arena, east versus west, stealth versus strength, intellect versus instinct. The American pilot, call sign, Dog, checks his targeting system, the AIM-120 AMRAAM missile is locked. The MiG-29's radar warning blares, and the pilot brakes hard right, releasing flares, trying to shake the invisible death chasing him. The missile streaks through the sky like lightning. Seconds later, a fireball blooms in the distance. One MiG down, the other turns hard, diving low, searching for a visual fight. But the F-16 dives too, its pilot's heartbeat synchronized with the machine. In the chaos, the Fulcrum's twin engines roar, maneuvering with insane agility, cutting through clouds like a knife. But the F-16 isn't just fast, it's thinking. Its systems, its sensors, its pilot, all locked in perfect harmony. The second missile is fired. It hits. Silence follows. Two jets down. The sky falls quiet again. The clash that shocked the sky was over in minutes, but it left behind a legacy that would echo for decades. The world watched in awe. How could a smaller, lighter, single-engine jet defeat a twin-engine monster like the MiG-29? The answer lay not just in technology, but in philosophy. The F-16 was designed for precision, to strike first and vanish. The MiG-29 was built for brawls, to fight up close and personal. But in modern air combat, distance means survival, and the Falcon had already mastered the art of unseen dominance. Yet, to call it a one-sided story would be a mistake. The MiG-29 was no weakling. In mock dogfights between NATO and ex-Soviet pilots, the Fulcrum often surprised everyone. Its ability to turn, climb, and accelerate was unmatched. Its helmet-mounted sight system allowed pilots to fire missiles just by looking at their target, a technology the West would only perfect years later. When flown by skilled hands, the MiG-29 could match the F-16 move for move. But real battles are never fought on equal terms. In 1991, during the Gulf War, the F-16 proved its supremacy again. Flying more combat sorties than any other aircraft, it dominated Iraqi skies. MiG-29s tried to intercept, but none succeeded. The F-16 struck radar sites, tanks, airbases, their precision unmatched. They flew fast, hit hard, and returned safely. The Fulcrum became a symbol of Soviet power, but the Falcon became a symbol of Western victory. However, this rivalry is more than statistics. It's a duel of spirit. The F-16, like its name, is a falcon, graceful, sharp, and always watching. The MiG-29, the Fulcrum, is the hammer that meets the anvil, bold, direct, and unforgiving. When these two meet, the sky becomes poetry written in smoke trails and sonic booms. Imagine standing on a runway somewhere in Eastern Europe. The wind hums softly. In the distance, two silhouettes rise against the dawn. One, sleek and elegant, its gray surface gleaming under sunlight. The other, muscular and aggressive, its twin engines growling with fury. Ground crews step back, American and Russian flags flutter, and the world holds its breath. The pilots salute, engines ignite, and both jets blast into the sky, one chasing speed, the other chasing power. Above the clouds, they circle, weaving a deadly dance of dominance. Missiles streak across the sky, flares burst like stars, and thunder roars through the heavens. This is not war, it's a duel of destiny. The F-16, light and calculating, dodges with digital precision. The MiG-29, raw and relentless, lunges like a predator. For a moment, it's impossible to tell who will win, until one finds the perfect angle, the perfect lock, the perfect second. That's the beauty of the sky, victory is always one heartbeat away. Over the years, the rivalry evolved, but the spirit never died. Both jets received upgrades, new avionics, new weapons, new missions. The F-16 became the most widely used fighter in the world, serving in more than 25 air forces. The MiG-29 continued to fly under countless flags, from Russia to India, from Poland to North Korea. Even today, decades later, they still face each other, in exercises, in simulations, sometimes in real-world conflicts. The rivalry that began in the Cold War continues to echo through modern skies. And maybe that's what makes it timeless. The F-16 and the MiG-29 represent not just aircraft, they represent ideologies. One symbolizes innovation, precision, and adaptability. The other stands for strength, endurance, and fearlessness. When they clash, the world doesn't just see jets, it sees philosophies collide. Now imagine this scene. The sky turning crimson at sunset, the echo of afterburners fading in the distance. Two jets, both kings in their own right, disappearing into the horizon, leaving behind trails of smoke, stories, and history. On the ground, soldiers watch with awe. Somewhere, an American pilot whispers, "Falcon has landed." Somewhere else, a Russian replies, "Fulcrum never falls." And in that silent exchange lies the truth, both are real kings of the sky. Because at the end of every battle, it's not about who won. It's about who dared. The F-16 and MiG-29 dared to define an era. They pushed the limits of human skill and machine power. They turned the sky into a battlefield of ideas, and that's why they'll always be remembered. So, when you look up and see a contrail cutting through the heavens, remember, somewhere out there, the ghosts of the Falcon and the Fulcrum are still racing. Still fighting, still proving that the sky belongs to those who have the courage to rule it. This was the clash that shocked the sky. This was rivalry turned legend. This was the story of the F-16 fighting Falcon and the MiG-29 Fulcrum, the real kings of the sky. You're watching Wings of War, where the past roars to life, where engines speak louder than words, and where the sky is our battlefield. Subscribe now, because the next story will take you even higher, into the dogfights that shaped nations and the legends that still soar today. Because here, on Wings of War, the sky isn't just where they fly, it's where they live forever.